Hello everybody. Today we would see use of Ready API services on Docker. So Ready API is an API testing tool that includes SoapUI for functional testing and security scanning for APIs. We have Load UI for performance testing and load testing, and Service V for API and database virtualization, service virtualization. So today we'll see how do we virtualize a service that we already have and put it on a Docker container that is running this word server for sharing virtual services. So we have the pet service and we will put it on a Docker container that is running our word server. So here we start, and we would first of all look at our existing Docker images installation. So we'll list all the images. So we see we do not have any word server image right now, so let's look for it on the Docker repository. So we search for word server, and we have an image available out there that should show up, and there it is. So there is a word server image available in the Docker repository, and we will pull it to our local installation. And this is an Amazon AWS instance that is running on the East Coast, on which I'm running this Docker. So I'm pulling the word server image into my AWS Docker installation. Okay, so now it's installed, and now let's check whether it was installed correctly or not. So we'll list Docker images, and there we see the Ready API word server image available for us. So now it's ready to be run, and we'll just go ahead and run this image. So we run it using the docker run command that gives the image, and we map different ports, have different usernames, license server linked, and now the word server for Ready API is getting started. So now the word server for Ready API has started, and now we can go into Ready API and connect to it so that we can share our virtual services. So we go to Service V. As we said, we would like to connect to this AWS instance that is running Docker, which contains word server. So that is the URL for our Docker container running on AWS. We just name it AWS East, and we can now connect to it. Once we connect to it, it's going to pull some data from the word server. And now what we can do is we can take the pet store service that we had created, the virtualized service we have created in Ready API, and drag and drop it into this Docker running word server so that we can share it with other people. So I'll just pull the logs on the side so that you can see as we pull the word server, the virtualized service into word server, what happens on the right side on the logs. So we just drag and drop it on the word server on the UI. So you can see that the word server gets the requests from this new virtual service. Now this virtual service for pet store is installed on Docker. Now users can go ahead and use this virtualized service, which is shared with anybody who has access to this AWS instance on East Coast. And we can test off of it, we can develop off of it if in case our real services are not available. We can start and stop it, control all of this from the UI of Ready API. You can see the request and response on the right side on the Docker running word server. So that was our demo for word server running on a Docker. Thank you.